Hello everyone, again welcome back to my channel Unfinished Curious Mind. Today we will be talking about Ramapithecus. Ramapithecus was an extinct Miocene ape that lived approximately 14 to 18 million years ago. Uh, Imagine you are an anthropologist in 1960s and you are examining a fossil jaw discovered in the foothills of Himalayas. The jaw looks different from that typical age. The canine teeth are smaller, the molars are broad, and the dental patterns appear surprisingly human-like. Excitement spreads through the scientific community. Could this be the earliest known ancestor of humans? Well, for decades, scientists believed that the answer was yes. The fossil was named Ramapithecus. Ramapithecus, and it was celebrated as one of the most important discoveries in human evolution. But science is a journey, not a destination. As more fossils were discovered and new technologies emerged, researchers realized that the story of Ramapithecus was far more complicated than they had imagined. In today's video, we will explore the fascinating history of Ramapithecus, its discovery, fossil evidence, physical characteristics, geological age, phylogenetic position, and how it transformed our understanding of human evolution. Let's get started. So, what was Ramapithecus? Ramapithecus was an extinct Miocene ape, lived in approximately 14 to 8 million years ago. The name Ramapithecus means basically Rama's ape. Uh, it was actually named after the Lord Rama. Okay, one of the most reversed figure in Indian mythology, because the first fossils were discovered in the Siwalik Hills of the Indian subcontinent. Today, Ramapithecus occupies a special place in anthropology, not because it is considered a human ancestor, but also because it taught scientists an important lesson about how interpretation can change when new evidences become available. So the story begins in 1922. A British paleo, mm, a British paleontologist named G. Edward Lewis was conducting fossil reach in the Siwalik Hills, a region stretching across northern India, Pakistan, and Nepal. While examining the um, fossil-bearing deposit, Lewis discovered that fragments of a jaw that appeared unusual. After careful study, he formally named the fossil Ramapithecus brevivortis brevirostris in the year 1934. At that time, very little fossil material was available, and scientists had only fragments of jaws and isolated teeth. Because of this limited evidence, researchers had to reconstruct the appearance and evolutionary significance of Ramapithecus using only a few pieces of the puzzles, and sometimes when only a few puzzle pieces are available, the complete picture can be often misleading. Uh, However, talking about fossil sites, the most famous Ramapithecus fossil were discovered in the Siwalik Hills. However, additional discoveries were later made from various areas of Pakistan's Potwar Plateau, uh, then port terrain in Kenya, uh, port terrain in Kenya, and there are many places in Greece, Turkey, Hungary. All these places were very eminent um, discoveries showed that Ramapithecus like apes were widespread across parts of Africa, Europe, Asia during Miocene phase. Then their broad geographical distribution also suggests that they were successful primates adapted to a variety of environments. To understand the geological age, we must travel back to the Miocene epoch. The Miocene lasted from approximately 23 to 5.3 million years ago. Ramapithecus lived during uh, Ramapithecus lived during around the middle and late Miocene, around approximately 14 to 8 million years ago. However, during their period, the world looked very difficult, and dense tropical forest covered such as Asia and Africa. However, climatic changes gradually led to the expansion of woodland and grassland environments. Many primates had to adapt the changing habitats, and these environmental pressure also played a very major role in shaping the course of primate evolution. Mm, Talking about the specimen and fossil material, one of the reasons Ramapithecus become controversial is that the available fossils were extremely limited. Most specimen consist of upper jaw fragments, lower jaw, that means mandible, premolars and molars, isolated teeth, and partial dental remains. No complete skull was also available when scientists first studied Ramapithecus. Imagine trying to identify a person based on a few teeth and a part of jaw. The task was very difficult, and usually mistakes can happen. So, yet these fragmentary fossils became the basis for major theories about human origins. Um, Physical features of Ramapithecus. So, what made Ramapithecus appear human-like? Uh, the teeth of the Ramapithecus displayed several characteristics that attached scientific attention. Uh, Those are thick dental and enamel. Okay. Broad molars and premolars, relatively smaller canine, and robust chewing surface. Dental art also that also kind of similar and resemble to certain extent uh, as humans, and scientists somehow believe these traits resemble those seen in early humans ancestors. In the jaw structure, the jaw appeared shorter than many living apes, less projecting and more parabolic in shape. Again, these characters seemed very close to humans than to other apes, right? As a result, many anthropologists concluded that Ramapithecus represented an early stage in human evolution. Body features: estimated body size smaller to medium size ape, like both arboreal and terrestrial. They also features originally led to scientists to classify Ramapithecus as a human ancestor. Now the question arises that why was Ramapithecus considered a human ancestor? So we arrive at the most exciting chapter of the story, that during 1960s, influential researchers such as Simons and others uh, argue that Ramapithecus was like earliest known hominin. At that time, scientists believed that small canines teeth were a human trait. Thick enamel was characteristics of human ancestors. Uh, Reduced facial projection suggests evolutionary advancement toward human. Based on these observations, Ramapithecus was placed near the beginning of the human evolutionary lineage. Now, the world included Ramapithecus as one of the humanity's earliest ancestors for many years. This idea dominated in anthropology, but science was about to challenge itself. The turning points comes in 1970s to 80s, where new fossil discoveries began to emerge. Researchers found more complete remains of a related ape called Sivapithecus. Okay, Sivapithecus. So these fossils basically included important part of the face and skull. When scientists compared that the new material with Ramapithecus fossil, an interesting part emerged. The jaw fragments identified as Ramapithecus appear to belong to female or smaller individuals of Sivapithecus. In other words, Ramapithecus might not be a separate genus at all. It might simply represent part of the variation found within Sivapithecus population. These discovery forced anthropologists to reconsider uh, decades of assumption. Phylogenetic positions and affinity. Originally, Ramapithecus was placed in the direct line leading to human. The evolutionary sequence looked something like this: that Ramapithecus, Australopithecus, then Homo. However, new evidences suggest that a different story. Detailed studies of facial anatomy reveal that strong similarities between Sivapithecus and modern orangutans. Since Ramapithecus was now considered part of a Sivapithecus, it too also appeared and closely related to the orangutan lineage. Therefore, modern anthropologists generally place Ramapithecus within the uh, Pongani group, and then the group that includes orangutans. Instead of being a direct human ancestor, Ramapithecus is now viewed as a member of the ape lineage. Modern classification of the Ramapithecus: the kingdoms Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Mammalia, order Primate, superfamily Hominidae, family Hominidae, superfamily Hominoidea, family Hominidae, subfamily Pongani, genus Sivapithecus. Most researchers today regard Ramapithecus as a synonym or a part of Sivapithecus. Ramapithecus is a synonym or part of Sivapithecus rather than a distinct genus. Now, why Ramapithecus remains important? You might wonder, if Ramapithecus is not a human ancestor, why do anthropologists still study it? The answer is very simple. Ramapithecus represents one of the most important example of how science works. Science is not about uh, defending all ideas. Science is about testing ideas and changing them when better evidences appear. The Ramapithecus debate taught anthropologists that conclusion based on incomplete fossil must always remain open to revision. It also demonstrates the importance of discovering more complete specimen before making evolutionary claims. In a conclusion, we can say that the story of Ramapithecus is one of the discovery, excitement, debate, and scientific revision discovered by the G. Edward Lewis in the Siwalik Hills, where Ramapithecus was once celebrated as humans' earliest ancestor. Its human-like teeth and jaw convinced generations of scientists that they had found a crucial link in human evolution. However, later fossil discoveries related a different reality, uh, revealed a different reality. Today, Ramapithecus is generally considered uh, part of Sivapithecus and is believed to be more closely related to modern orangutans than to humans, yet its legacy remained powerful. Ramapithecus reminds us that scientific knowledge evolves as new evidence emerges and that every fossil has the potential to rewrite the story of our origins.